Hi, I'm Rochelle Travers, and this is the Standards Tech and Science Daily Podcast. Coming up, the nearby planet with a very distinctive smell. Now, let's get into it. Europe's Ariane 6 rocket launch is set to take place later today, Tuesday the 9th of July. Here's a clip from ESA with a bit more detail.
Ariane 6 joins Europe's fleet of rockets for independent access to space. Building on the design and knowledge of 5 decades of Ariane launches, Ariane 6 will be versatile, modular, European. Ariane 6 comes in 2 versions that together can launch any type of satellite mission into orbits around our home planet, to the moon, and beyond.
If all goes according to plan, the Ariane 6 will launch from Europe's Spaceport in French Guiana during a 4-hour window that opens at 6 p.m. UK time. The rocket, which is operated by the French company Ariane Space on behalf of ESA, has been in development for nearly a decade and will replace the Ariane 5, which retired last year after 117 flights over nearly 30 years. Fancy watching all the action unfold? You can watch a live stream of the launch via the ESA website. We'll leave a link in our show notes. A first-of-its-kind study has found that children conceived using egg or sperm donors are more likely to have identity difficulties and issues with trust if they're kept in the dark about their origins.
We looked at all the papers ever looking at the outcomes of donor conception pregnancy. So that would be sperm donor or egg donor. And we collected the data on a huge number of papers and individuals who were either examined as children or as adults. So we've got a comprehensive view of what the psychological outcomes are after donor conception.
That's Susan Bewley, emeritus professor in obstetrics and women's health at King's College London and senior author of the paper.
The key findings were mostly reassuring that children who are planned and wanted and born by donor conception do very well. They seem to be mostly well adjusted. But we did find a few papers that suggested there were some harms, maybe some mental health harms, but particularly if children didn't find out about their origins until later in life, they had more troubles with that and needed more counselling. Sometimes they didn't relate to the parents so well.
The research suggests that secrecy around the topic could have a negative impact on the child, and Professor Bewley says this is an attitude that can still be present today.
It was quite difficult to get to the heart of what's going on, and that's also because each individual child is born into a particular set of circumstances and may be told different things at different times. Maybe if IVF has been used, we know that there's more twins and that can cause problems.
The findings show that further research is needed in this area, especially when it comes to what happens with these children once they grow up.
The identity and trust came up, but some of the other issues which may have been due to some of the neurodivergences and some autism spectrum disorders were less clear and more uncertain. We therefore recommended that people did more and detailed and longitudinal studies because there's very little about how people are functioning as adults.
Professor Bewley recommends anyone involved in the field, informally or formally, and any potential parents considering this route should read the paper from KCL so they can make a fully informed decision with all the evidence we know up to now. A nearby exoplanet known for its deadly weather apparently stinks of rotten eggs. New research from Johns Hopkins University in the US suggests that the atmosphere of HD 189733b, a Jupiter-sized gas giant, has trace amounts of hydrogen sulfide, a molecule that gives off the foul smell. However, the molecule also offers scientists new clues about how sulfur, a building block of planets, might influence the insides and atmospheres of exoplanets, which are planets outside our solar system. HD 189733b has extremely high temperatures of around 927 degrees Celsius and is known for vicious weather, including raining glass that blows sideways in winds of 5,000 miles per hour. Let's go to the ads. Coming up, a new subscription service to stop scam calls, and Mystic Meerkats predict the Euros results. Welcome back. Mobile operator EE has launched a new subscription service to combat nuisance calls and scams. The mobile operator, which is part of the BT Group, said the new service called ScamGuard would use artificial intelligence to spot likely spam calls and alert users to them, as well as sending alerts if a user's personal information was found on the dark web. It will also offer tips on how to secure any in-danger accounts. A new study suggests a link between altered gut bacteria in children and autism. The research from the Chinese University of Hong Kong suggests that specific components of the gut microbiome, which is microorganisms including bacteria, fungi and viruses that live in the digestive tracts of animals, could be used to diagnose autism in the future. Experts say the findings are very exciting because it could help address the backlog in people waiting to be diagnosed. Autism, also known as autism spectrum disorder, is a lifelong developmental condition. It affects the way a person communicates, interacts, and processes information. And finally, a group of mystic meerkats at a zoo in Sussex have been accurately predicting England's results in the Euros throughout the tournament. Here's a clip with the head keeper from Drusillas Park.
Hi, I'm Gemma. I'm the head keeper here at Drusillas Park, and we are back for yet another mystic meerkat prediction.
The animals make their selection by choosing one of 2 buckets of nuts, a favourite meerkat snack, each with a flag on the side to represent the opposing teams. The containers are placed side by side before the animals are released, and whichever bucket is proved to be the most popular is declared the winner. England will face the Netherlands in Wednesday's semi-final after beating Switzerland in a penalty shootout on Saturday to reach the final 4. So, now the important question: who do the meerkats think will win on Wednesday?
I think it's safe to say the meerkats think England are going to win on Wednesday. Let's wish the boys luck. Come on, England!
There you have it then. We could be one step closer to it coming home. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for the Standard podcast for all the latest news and analysis. Tech and Science Daily will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. See you then.